And welcome back to JKLive with an armed Nairobi County Governor, Mike Sonko. Okay. All right, I'm sorry, I had to say that. Armed and dangerous. Keep tweeting. Tweets are coming in very thick and very fast. Lots of questions for the governor tonight. Governor, recently the Controller of Budget allocated about 50 billion shillings to all the counties in the last quarter for development. The word is only 3 billion of that has been spent. Why are counties asking for more money if they're not spending?
I think Nairobi is not in that. There was a report I saw through Citizen a couple of days ago where there was also a misappropriation of funds in so many other counties. And Nairobi was not mentioned anywhere in the misappropriation of funds. And as the governor of this great city, I know we are governed by laws, the PFM Act, the Constitution, that 30% of the total allocation in terms of budgetary allocations, the money we receive from the exchequer, the local revenue we collect, so the total allocation for the county, 30% of that must go to development. As the governor of this great city, we are trying our best, and ourselves, we are committed to do development projects. For instance, in Nairobi City County, so far we've done over 87 roads down the sub-county level, the ward levels. This is development money. We are also doing 4 FIFA standard stadiums. Already the door is almost through. We started, we launched the we're doing another stadium in Kiumbwini, that is Westland constituency. We're doing a stadium in Ziwani and Woodley Kibera. Already we have set funds.
And you say FIFA
standards. We are also doing markets, over 9 markets in Nairobi City County. We are also partnering with international investors. We are doing a recycling plant in Dandora to convert maybe waste to energy project. We have that.
Is that ongoing?
It is,
because a lot of people have been asking about when is that going to start?
We are groundbreaking by end of this month. We were supposed to also actually to start the groundbreaking by end of December, but because of the holidays and what have you, now we have extended. So we are going to groundbreak by end of January. We are also we are upgrading our health facilities. We want Nairobi to have a good health care. So in terms of development, the expectations are very high.
They are.
And they are very high. Why am I telling you this, my brother? Because, and I don't want to mention names here, I don't want to mention anybody. You saw my brother was yesterday, I think the day before yesterday, was with Sam Gituku, and he talked very positively
about you,
about me. So yes. I don't want to, if somebody has decided to work with you, that one.
But Governor, you mentioned you've done how many roads? 87.
More than 87. 87 roads, and I have got that list because I don't want to waste.
Sure. There are people in Kahawa West tweeting right now saying Kahawa West is terrible.
I agree. I agree with them. I concur with them. Nairobi is big. You cannot be everywhere at the same time. But we've tried our best. I think Kahawa West, this is the Rosambo constituency. We've done so many roads there. We've done the Lumumba Drive Road. We are doing so many roads there. And I'm going to do that road.
You're going to do it?
The other day they demonstrated, but we are going to do that road.
Kahawa West.
Kahawa West. But let me say something about development, Jeff, because it was aired in the Citizen, in Citizen, and it was in the Control of Budgets report and the Auditors General report. It was aired there. But the last administration, so many issues were raised. Funds were diverted. Funds meant for road construction were diverted. Funds for health were diverted. Funds for doing markets were diverted.
Would you blame Kidero on?
No, I'm not blaming Kidero.
You did before?
I'm not blaming Kidero. And I'm not blaming Kidero. You know, you remember at some point I went even physical with Kidero.
Correct.
But now I'm in the system. I know who is to blame. Kidero was not a signatory of these funds. He was not a signatory to any of their people who are accountable for that. There were the chief officers, finance, the ministers. Those are the people to be held responsible. But during that particular period, funds were being diverted. Funds ended up in individual pockets, in individual stomachs. But I have already sealed that. In my administration, we don't tolerate corruption. This is a clear indication, Jeff, that funds allocated to us for development, for instance, funds for roads will go to roads. Funds for maybe health will go to health. So I'm urging Nairobians to have high expectations in the next 6 months. Let them judge me after the next.
Okay, another road that people are complaining about, Brookside. Yes. Brookside Road. Okay, we did horrible.
Yeah, it's in our budget. We did some fasted. Even I was personally there on the ground. I think the people of Riverside can attest to this. We were there. There were some problems with the potholes there. We recarpeted the road, but we are yet to do the recarpeting of this.
Governor, road you reduced parking in the city. We'll talk about congestion. You reduced parking from 300 shillings to 200 shillings.
Yes, yes.
Does that make sense? Because now people with vehicles, private vehicles, you know, is this decongesting or congesting more?
No, it's making some sense, because when I was campaigning, this was one of the agendas, some of the promises I gave to the people. When the parking fees were raised, there was no public participation as provided for in the Public Finance Management Act. Nobody was consulted. So I promised Nairobians that I'm going to abolish the cess, the 50 bob license, which is normally charged to our women in the estates, our mamambogas in the estates. And then I also promised that the parking fee is going to be reduced. I have done that already. We are waiting for the BRT buses to be brought.
When is that going to happen?
In the next few months. In the next few months.
You know, they painted that pink lane like 6 months ago.
You know, Jeff, mamamboga wale nilikampeni kwao niliwaambia nita reduce hizo vitu. Motorist Nairobi City County nikawaambia parking fees nitaangalia mambo yake. Na kwa siasa hakuna kitu mbaya kama uongo. You better do something even if it's for a short period. But when these buses come, these parking fees, the sales fees, they are always covered in the finance.
When you say in few months,
they're always covered in the finance act.
When are we talking?
From now, between 3 to 4.
3 to 4 months.
So when the buses come, when we have other, how do I put it, solutions to curb this congestion menace, then we will always come with
speaking of congestion,
measures of
a few months ago, you banned all matatus in the CBD. And then that was for 1 day. And you called a press conference and you said, this is just a warm-up. More is coming. Nairobians need exercise. Watu watembe. Right?
But
watu walikasirika?
I was not kidding. I was not joking, Jeff. Ndio watu walitembea. But let me say this, Jeff. Any good thing must have repercussions. Any good thing, the implementation process of this good thing is some more painful. And let's take an example of Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they have a car-free day whereby people walk to work. School-going children walk to schools. In Rwanda, the same thing. People walk to schools and their work places. So easy vitu ni normal.
Can it work here?
Nah, it can work here, because that was just like a pilot project, because the government, the national government, we are working together jointly with the national government. Immediately the buses come, we have to implement this. And I'm not the first governor to test this. Even my brother, Evans, alijaribu, kwanza aliweka drums, ikafail, call off. But mimi, you see, recently, Jeff,
you don't mind being unpopular, because that was a very unpopular move.
You know, Jeff, I better be a one-term governor, and then I leave a good legacy. I want to leave Nairobi better than how I found it. We've been investing a lot of money, the national government, us in the counties. We go to benchmark in Dubai, New York. Somewhere we are coming to implement this. This genesis of decongesting our city has been there for so many years. Who is going to implement it, if not Sonko, Sai? So we better make the right decision, the wrong decisions now, before the campaign period starts. And let me tell you one good thing about Kenyans. You do anything, whether it's bad or good, but the fruits zionekane baadaye, everybody will see the fruits to decongest our city. The issue here, we're not trying to kuweka our businessmen and women in the transport sector, PSV sector, kwa toa nje ya biashara. I was one of them, I remember. And I remember that time when I called for this ban of matatus, we saw the impact. Everything must be tried, Jeff. And even if, and I've said this before and I'll say it again today, if you want to do an omelette today, you have to break an egg. Yeah? Make some of the toughest decisions. You have to face them as a leader. Yeah. And since I've said this, our great city of ours, Nairobi, it has become an international city. Why? Recently, in the recently concluded World Economic Forum, Nairobi was ranked as the 6th most dynamic city in the world, out of 131 cities. Yeah. The other year, we were ranked as the 3rd best tourist destination. This is a clear indication that Nairobi has become an international city. Yeah. So we must do things the international way.
Just like,
we cannot say we have an international city while all our roads in the CBD are congested.
Yeah. Do you mean international? Do you mean international city or do you mean international city?
For now, because there are no investors here, I can see it's only Jeff and some editors who are here. Yeah. It's city.
But if there were investors?
But I'm going to London. Just wait and wait and see my speech. Yeah. It will be city.
Okay. Yeah. Talking about city. Yeah. Governor, you just mentioned that you may be a one-term governor, right?
Yes.
And there's some people who are asking in the first place, number one, you don't even have a deputy. And number two, are you really in charge at County Hall?
Yes, I'm in charge. Number one, on the deputy issue, let me tell you something. We're in Africa. And there is a say that there is no hurry in Africa. And there's also another say which says, hurry has no blessings. What deputy governor?
Things are running smoothly. We announced Juicy that in 2 days I'll announce a deputy.
I agree with you, Jeff. But you see, when I was just about to announce my deputy governor, in the spirit of handshake, the NASA coalition wrote a letter to me to consider some 2-3 names. Yeah. So I'm still consulting. I'm a Jubilee governor. Jubilee does not belong to Sonko. The party does not belong to me.
But are you afraid of naming a deputy governor? Are you paranoid?
I am going to name one very soon.
Well, how soon?
Very soon.
How soon, Governor?
Very soon.
Give us a hint.
Very soon. Very soon, Jeff.
What's your fear? Why do you fear an assistant?
I'm still consulting.
Who are you consulting? You don't need to consult other parties.
The party leadership.
Your party leadership.
The Nairobians themselves. Yeah.
But some people say that you're afraid to name a deputy because they might end up gathering enough support to have you impeached.
Why should I be afraid? Will I be the first governor to be impeached? Wabora was impeached. There's so many governors who were impeached, and life goes on.
So you're not afraid?
No. What offense have I committed to be impeached? I have a very good working relationship with my MCAs. So there's nothing wrong I've done for me to be impeached. Yeah.
Look, in the beginning you said you might name people like Miguna as your deputy.
But I tried that and it failed.
But now he's been granted re-entry, if you will.
I'm not aware of that.
Yes?
Yeah.
The courts.
And we have to check the law. Once you've tabled a name in the county assembly, there's a certain period you have to wait for before you.
Would you still consider Miguna?
No, for now, no.
Do you have someone in mind?
I'm still consulting. I had, but in the spirit of handshake, and Nairobi is bigger than all of us, and I'm in talking terms with the NASA leader, the Right Honorable former Prime Minister, the Deputy President, His Excellency the President, the party leadership. We are still consulting. When the right time comes, we'll name.
How soon, Governor? A week? A month?
Just the answer to that is, you're asking how soon? Very soon.
Okay.
And I've told you, there's no hurry in Africa, Jeff. We're in Africa. Kenya is in Africa.
There's no hurry.
Hurry has no blessings.
So we can wait till 2022 even?
No, not 2022 really.
Okay.
Very soon we'll name a deputy governor.
There seems to be a lot of drama about this deputy governor issue. I don't know what it is. There must be a reason you're not naming. It's not just consulting. There must be a reason.
No, we are consulting because just a couple of days ago I received a letter from the NASA coalition. It is all over. Everybody knew about it, so I'm still consulting.
But doesn't the deputy have to come from your party?
It has to be from my party, and I have to look for a good selection.
So the ODM letter meant nothing, right?
Yeah.
ODM letter doesn't mean anything.
It depends. In the spirit of handshake, it depends. We are working on that.
But handshake is not the law. That was just a handshake.
It is not the law, but you see, it's something. You know, it's bringing Kenyans together, Nairobians together. We are telling Kenyans that the country is bigger than anybody else. So we are working on it.
Governor, let me ask you this: your management style. A lot of your CECs have either left, resigned, or you sacked them. What's up with that? What's going on at County Hall?
There is nothing wrong with somebody resigning. Look at Theresa May in the UK. 8 secretaries of state have resigned. Even in my brother's president, the last administration, the previous, between 2013 to this period, we had Minister Charity Ngilu resign, Felix Koskei resign, Chirichiri resign, Kamau resign, Gishangi resign, Iringo resign, my colleague from Kimemia resigned. It depends on leadership.
So, okay, speaking of leadership, does that say something about your style of leadership?
I got my own style. You know, Jeff, I don't want to repeat myself. I've been talking about this, even the last time I was here, I talked about this. But because you've asked this question, let me come to that. And I know where you're heading, and I want to answer all the questions because all the country is watching, the world is watching. And I can see from the heading there, you said, method of madness. This Mandinka tells Jeff is not a joke. Yeah? And I want to admit, Kenyans are watching. I've been firing staff. You either do the right thing, you become my friend. You engage in corruption, you go home. Engage in laziness, you go home. I want to give you a very simple example, Jeff. I was the senator of this great city. I was fighting for justice of the poor, the widows, even investors in Nairobi City County. We had cases whereby properties belonging to investors in Westlands, Parklands, their houses were being demolished by grabbers. Widows were losing their houses, Jeff, in Nairobi City County. Since I became the governor of this great city, those cases have reduced. We have not heard of those cases anymore. I want to give you one example. For instance, there was a house here just in Ngong Road belonging to a nation family, a guy called Hawa. Hawa took his wife to India. He had a brain tumor, so the wife went there for brain surgery. He stayed in India for 8 months. He had paid his rates, everything. But when he came back with his wife, after 3 days, county askaris, goons, were sent to his house. They were evicted. Goons threw the wife outside the compound. By bad luck, the wife died. And Hawa had paid his rates, the county rates. But what happened? How did he lose his property? At the rest department, the officers who were there used to tamper with the records. For instance, your house, you don't have any debt, but they put a fake debt, like 20 million, an amount which you cannot afford to pay. Immediately they do that, they take the recommendations to the legal department. Once the legal department approves, your house is auctioned without any notice to you, to a third party who is one of their maybe proxies. That's how people have been losing properties in this great city. And I'm sure those who lost their properties in this similar way, they are watching and they are listening, and they can attest to this. Since I took over, I know I used to know these people, and they were even proceeding with these games when I became the governor, and I know them. I called them, I warned them, but they refused to listen to me.
That's why you sacked many of them?
Yes. In fact, the entire rest department, over 10, the head of the department was a beneficiary of this cartel, of this scandal. He had to go. He had to leave.
Tell me about...
The lawyers, even more than 10 lawyers.
Yeah.
I fired them. They went to court and they lost the case.
Tell me about your latest firing, Janet Modoni Oko, who, by the way, she resigned.
Yeah.
But she's suing you, apparently.
But am I a person to be intimidated by cases? I'm a fan of cases.
Let's play the soundbite that...
I'm a fan of cases.
Okay, let's take a listen. Monica?
It is not fine to have people living under fear of blackmail, under fear of EACC, of arresting, of, locking up offices. It's chaos.
Chaos, intimidation, living in fear.
I think Janet is misquoting me. Let me say this. I did not have any issues with Janet. And let me say this. She was one of my best hardworking ministers. I used to like Janet very much. Alikuwa waziri mzuri sana. Sikuwa na shida na yeye. But shida ilitokea, Jeff. And you'll allow me to read this one paragraph letter. This is a letter from the DCI. From the head of Banking Fraud Unit. And I'll give you a copy of this letter.
Okay.
Addressed to the county. And it is saying, it is dated August 14th, 2018. I was the governor. Janet was the minister in charge of this education docket. And I'm not the author of this letter, Jeff. Yeah? And I'll just quickly, because it's a one paragraph letter. And the headline, this is the letterhead from Central Bank of Kenya. Yeah? I hope the DCI is watching. The head of Banking Fraud Unit is watching. It is saying suspected fraudulent checks in respect of Kobudha Educational Center. Kobudha is just a small store in River Road, which has been opened in an institution, educational institution name, just to swindle monies meant to educate poor watoto wa slums maskini. Ilikuwa zinaenda kwa hii account. Just one paragraph. Let me just take my time. Now this is the DCI, not Sonko, saying this office is investigating a fraud case where the above institution, Kobudha now, through its Equity Bank account number 1250-168-235097, was issued with multiple checks from Nairobi City County bursary account, which were later cleared and paid through the above quoted account. To enable us complete our investigation, please furnish us with the following documents. Official list of the bursary applications and beneficiaries for the period from 2016 to 2018. I'll explain that. Number 2, certified true copies of the counterfoils for the check numbers as per the attached account statement. Then an officer whose duty is to disburse the funds to record a statement to the effect. Then any information that can assist in the investigations. Thanking you for your support. Yours faithfully, the letter is signed by Tobias Obondo, not Sonko, for Director of Banking Fraud Investigation Department. Sonko is not the author of this letter. An issue has been raised here. Kobudha is a company which has been swindling bursary funds meant to educate the poor from Nairobi City County. And Kobudha has been swindling this money from 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, even 18, when Sonko is the governor of this great city. How does this swindle money is meant for poor families? Checks are drawn in favor of Kobudha for all these years. 20,000, 20,000, 25,000. Ikifika 1 million, one person for this all years called Tom, we've already charged him in court. The charges are here. Tom, I think Tom, the statements are here because Taki Kesho upelekwa kotini, Jeff. These are the statements. These are the statements. These are bursary checks. Job Omondi. 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. Ikifika 1 million, huyu Job Omondi, pesa kusomesha maskini, anaenda anaitoa cash. Rongata Rongai branch. Statements are here. Airport branch, Kawa West branch, Town branch, na hii ni pesa ya maskini alikuwa anaitoa cash.
Where does Janet Muthoni Ouko come in?
Because education docket is under Janet. And we lost monies in 2 scandals. This is the first scandal. I like Janet very much.
When she
and
was
I
in
want
office?
To tell you where
when she was in office?
When she was in office. Who was the minister in 2018 September? Janet Ouko. Who was the governor? Sonko. And this letter is very self-explanatory. The DCI is asking for documents from her docket to verify these allegations.
Yeah.
And these allegations were true. Why? These accounts were frozen. And by the time we froze these accounts, we had already lost millions of shillings.
Did you tell Janet Ouko to explain?
I'll come to that. This is scandal number 1, and I've told you. Scandal number 2 is being investigated by the ESCC, not Sonko. And this is where Governor Sonko is coming in now, and my minister, whom I liked very much, Janet. We released checks worth 357 million. Za kueducate maskini wa Nairobi. We invited the media at Charter Hall, issued the checks in favor of the beneficiaries, schools. Checks zikaenda. Later on, checks zikarudi back kwa education docket ya county. wakafuta jina ya shule ya maskini wale wa slums ambao tumepewa pesa yao, taxpayers wametupatia tuwasomeshe, wakafuta checks kwa jina ya shule, then they wrote the checks in favor of limited companies.
Who's this?
And private individuals.
Who was this? Who?
My officers in the docket of education.
Including Janet Oko?
Who was in charge of education? Who was the minister? When there were scandals in the land ministry that time, who resigned? Gilu resigned. When there were security issues, Gishangi resigned. When there was a scandal in the roads department, Engineer Kamau resigned. So people like using diversionary methods here. Yeah, they want to say this is madness, leadership, but I'll deal with realities. Jeff, even if I give you work today in Nairobi City County, you remain to be my friend. But if you misappropriate funds meant for service delivery, I will fire you, you will go home. And that is the only leadership that these cartels understand. We cannot keep on working with. Why did she resign in the first place?
By the way,
she could have faced the realities.
Yeah.
Give us her officers who are responsible for these particular dockets. These guys, for them to be smart, to divert these checks, to raise new signatures, there must be an inside game.
Okay.
So my question to Janet was,
yes,
my friend, you are very hardworking. Yeah, I want to admit this. This is what she's calling blackmail, intimidation, and frustration. And if that is blackmail, intimidation, and frustration when public funds is lost, I will continue doing it.
Governor, why don't
I'll continue intimidating people, blackmailing people, frustrating people, provided for the account for funds.
Why don't we ask Janet herself? Monica, you have on the line? Janet Modoni Oko, if you can hear us here, it's Jeff Koinange, we're live with Governor Sonko, and he's asking, why did you resign? Can she hear us?
Oh, thank you very much, Jeff, and His Excellency the Governor. I think my resignation was very clear that I was going to pursue other interests.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Carry on.
Yes, and it's a little disappointing to see somebody that we respect so much at the level of the governor of Nairobi, you know, stooping as low as really wanting to justify things that are not there. I want to tell him, that we had a very cordial 1 year with a lot of respect. I did my duties and I did my job. I am shocked that the same governor that says I was the best minister, the same governor that says I was the most hardworking, the same governor who is now purporting to have records, you know, from I know that letter, it came to my office. It was investigating 375,000 that was diverted by an MCA. He has the report that was done by his investigation. I do not know why he's just working with the letter and not working with the report of the findings. But anyway, it's really difficult. But we know, those of us that have worked with Sonko understand that everybody around him is a thief apart from himself. We know that he has a liking for strong people. He has a particular dislike for people and persons of a particular ethnicity for fears that he only knows. And I want to tell the governor with a lot of respect, nobody else is the governor of Nairobi. It is only him. Until 2022, when such an election is held and he's defeated, he will still remain the governor. So a lot of insecurities in trying to blackmail everybody, you know, we have very respectable people.
Yeah, okay, Janet.
We have very respectable people in that county that are passionate about their job.
Okay, we have heard you. We have heard you. That is enough.
Has made their money from stealing.
Okay,
people are professional.
We have heard you.
All right, Janet, we have heard you, and you're saying, how can the governor stoop so low, and everyone around him is a thief except him?
No. I've been working with Janet for the last 1 year, and I don't want to talk about her now. I don't want to maybe talk anymore about her. I've told you, Jeff, I'm not the author of these letters. This is ESCC. This is DCI. I'm not fabricating these letters. Money has been lost. Yeah, that is not insecurity. That is not blackmail. And if public funds are lost, and you question that as the county CEO, you become a blackmailer, yeah? You intimidate people. That will continue in Nairobi City County.
You have no fear?
I will have no fear. And many officers who engage in similar activities will go home. Hii ni pesa ya maskini, Jeff, imeibiwa. Na umemsikia akisema ati MCA ndo ameiba. You are the head of that docket. MCA ameiba ukiwa wapi? This is the letter of EACC. A reminder was just sent yesterday. They don't want to give these exhibits. Kama ni MCA sawa, amepewa cheki ende kwa shule. Imerudi vipi kwa docket yako wewe kama education minister?
But this is what people around you say.
Your accountant has signed that.
People around you say you're just too intimidating. You're a control freak.
In Nairobi, you have to intimidate cartels. Otherwise, they'll intimidate you and even kill you. The Auditor General report is there. Through the same way, we lost 22 billion. When I took over Nairobi City County, we engaged the services of KPMG. They found the same report. We lost 22 billion. You want under Sonko to lose those billions again? It will never happen under me.
But you just said these cartels could kill you. Aren't you afraid they might do that?
I'm not afraid, Jeff. I'm not afraid. I'm a fighter. I do not care. I've been fighting for the interest of Nairobians, whether rich or poor, when I was the senator. Sai pesa imeibiwa. This is a statement. 10 million imeibiwa. Money is our maskini zinakuwa diverted. Then you ask, somebody tells you she's more educated than you. She's an activist. Yeah? Amesoma sana. I'm intimidating and blackmailing. I'll continue intimidating and blackmailing people. Do the right thing, so I will not intimidate you. I have to intimidate you.
By the way, Janet Oko says she's going to sue you.
I'm a fan of cases. Do I care? I had over 50 cases. I was in committee, Shimolatewa, industrial area. You know, people, wanaogopa kuongea ukweli hii duniani. Tell Kenyans the truth about your life. They accept you the way you are. Mimi si mtu ya kutishwa na kizungu mingi. In the first place, she was supporting Peter Kenneth. Nikafanya a very false decision. My supporters nikawawacha. Nikasema Janet is the best. Alisimama women rep akaanguka. Na nikamchukua. Na amefanya kazi mzuri. I don't have any ill motive against Janet. And I'm saying this without any fear of contradiction. She was one of the best ministers. Shida imetokea, pesa imeibiwa. Only.
And you're saying anyone who steals?
And I want to prepare the public. I want to prepare the public. I'm going to fire some more ministers. And some more chief officers.
Why?
Because recently, we had a very bad scenario in South Sea. And I'm sure the residents of South Sea are watching. And they can attest to this. There was a public road which we are doing. We tarmacked the first phase 3 kilometers. It's called Olive Hospital Road. The people of South Sea they know this road. We did the first 1 of the road. Then when we were about just to do the first 2 of the road, to branch the road to the estates, we wanted over 30,000 residents of South Sea to access this road. Then somebody, a former land commissioner, and I will not fear because I've got documents with me, Wilson Kashanja, he grabbed a school playground, he grabbed a public road, he did a perimeter wall just at the center of this road. He blocked the contractor from doing the first 2 of this road. Kusaidia wananchi wa South Sea, ku access hii barabara mzuri.
What did you do?
I went with all my government officers on the ground. We invited the NLC. Everybody was on the ground with maps. Tukapima around July. Tukapata hii barabara imeblokiwa na Gashanja, ni barabara ya umma, ni ya serikali. Tulipopima tukapata ni ya serikali. Mimi na residents wa South Sea, led by Ranjana, Madam Ranjana, I think she's listening, the residence chairperson of South Sea. South Sea has a population of over 200,000. We demolished that wall together because that's the only way of dealing with cartels. I myself nearly drive bulldozer, nikaangusha ukuta. Then around November, after like 3-4 months tulipoondoka, these Gachanja lawyers and these people came back to City Hall. Wakafanya corruption zao, and I'm ready to face him in court. Wakachota, wakafanyiwa an approval ya kusema the public land is theirs. This is the approval.
Hapo kwa ukuta.
Yes, wakapewa ukuta. This is the wall. Wakawekewa beacons. Na paka signature ikawekwa. This is the plan.
The same wall you brought down.
Same wall I brought down behind my back now. My same officers went and approved this wall for Gachanja. Put beacons for him. A public road for South Sea residents.
Are those people still working? Do they still have jobs?
I fired them just last week. I love the same people when they go to the media, Sonko likes firing people. And I'll continue firing this kind of people. Another case.
Hold on, before you give me another case, Marble Arch.
Yes.
Marble Arch.
That is another thief.
Huh?
Mike Maina is another thief.
Mike Minor.
Marble Act sits on a county property. We have the mother documents. We have the survey plan that the county land fire station, when it was allocated to the county, it was 1.1 acres. Today it is less than that. Why? Because he had the section of the fire station and constructed the Marble Act Hotel and already marked the hotel for demolition. He went to court. And I'm going to fight that case.
By the way...
I want to give you a very good example, Jeff.
Yeah. Before that, let's finish with Minor.
Yes.
You called him on the phone and you abused him.
But Jeff, wait. Just pause. You just portrayed me as a madness method. I'm applying madness method. You're asking questions, so many questions. And the world is watching. They want to know about this Sonko madness. So you either give me time, I explain case by case, instead of kunipeleka mbio mbio kama chokora. Mimi utanipeleka hivyo. You know, because it will be pointless. Yeah. Kenyans have not finished explaining a case. Okay. You are raising another question. I've not finished this one. I've been doing these media cases for so many years.
Maliza governor.
So, umenidekesha nyuma. Turudi huku kwa hii plan ya South Sea.
Yes.
Hawa watu after tumembomoa ukuta na wananchi na serikali yote. After kachanja kugrab playground ya watoto wa South Sea. Nikairegesha back kwa umma. Yeah? Some days before Christmas holiday, this was after, mimi nimeangusha ukuta November.
Yes.
I mean July. This stamp wameipiga 23rd of November. Wakakula pesa ya Christmas. Wakarudi kwa ground. Barabara ya umma wakaweka beacons, wakasema ni ya Kachanja sasa. Commissioner wa Lands, former Commissioner of Lands. Yeah. Naenda kotini. Wakasema ni yake. So when the contractor was about to do tarmac for phase 2 of Olive Hospital Road, akaleta guns, wakapiga contractor, wakaweka ukuta tena. Nikaambiwa, I mobilized officers, tukarudi ground. We arrested all these people, tukapeleka kotini. And now we gave the constructor security, the road inaendelea kupita. Na kama siyo nguvu ya kupigana, kuregeshia umma mashamba yao, singetoboa hii kesi. Singetoboa hii kesi. So hawa walifanya hii kazi. For a governor kuangusha ukuta. Leo Uhuru aseme kitu fulani bomolewe. Mimi nenda niseme isibomolewe. Yeah? And those are the chief officer is equivalent to a PS. Mr. Gathenge and Ochanda. Wanaenda kuauthorize hii peanwe. I look like a powerless governor, a useless governor.
Are they gone?
They are home. What? No. More are going home.
Kuna zingine?
Umeongea mambo ya Marble Act.
Yes.
Amizi muogope na bilioni zake hizo. Huyo ni mwizi.
By the way,
skiza,
I have to put a disclaimer there. Disclaimer. Ukita mtu mwizi,
yes,
ni wewe.
Already I'm in court with him.
Sio mimi.
He's a sensitive.
Na si Citizen Television.
Yes, ni Sonko governor.
Ni governor.
Yes, and that is the only way of dealing with these people.
Hiyo disclaimer yetu.
Yes.
Endelea.
I have got the mother title of that property. We have got the survey plans of that property. Yeah? His Excellency, the former founding father of this Republic of Kenya, knew that land was the land for a fire station. Then all of a sudden, because you are connected to a certain former president, you go hide a section of that fire station without doing a proper subdivision. We don't have any records in the county. Then you say that land is yours. You are putting up a 5-star hotel. Yeah? Sitaki could destroy investment in this country. Yeah? But I want to talk the reality and the truth. What my Marble Act did, that is a fire station property. Akachukua, akajenga hoteli. Hakutosheka na hiyo. Bado akaiba public parking ya City County of Nairobi. Akaifanya parking ya hoteli. Hakutosheka na hiyo, mwizi huyu. Bado akaiba choo ya serikali ya county. Akaifanya store yake. What have I done? I've repossessed the parking, he has gone to court, and he'll lose that case. Aulize Mwenyamana Hotel opposite the UN. The hotel is now down. He got just temporary orders to scare us, to intimidate us. We are not going to be intimidated by lawyers' letters. We'll discharge our mandate as governors of these great counties of Kenya. Hatutatichwa na hiyo maneno. So let me finish. I'll not allow you to ask another question. This is a very sensitive question. Very sensitive question. Umesema utastakiwa, nitastakiwa. Yeah? That one we're in court, and you can take this to the bank. The evidence we have, that is a public utility. These guys in the Ndungu reports, grabbing land, Karura Forest, Kiambu, yeah? He cannot intimidate me with letters from lawyers. I've got evidence, he's a thief. The title is here. The survey plan is here. The land used to belong to Nairobi City County. Ali-on vipi anasema anataja jina ya former president. Even that former president is mentioning, he lost a case in Kabarak. He took some land for a certain Muzungu. He lost the case. And I want to thank the judiciary in a very big way. That is a very good precedence. And I'm going to use against this case. When this guy constructed 7 stories building overlooking the United Nations,
yep.
US Embassy, all the embassies, that was a security threat. And the bylaws of the county are very clear. Those areas, the restricted areas, don't do more than 5 floors. This guy went ahead and did over 7 floors. We told him demolish. He rushed to court.
Again.
First, no.
These cartels are going to come after you.
No. I don't threaten me when you are becoming part of the cartel if you tell me that. Let me finish, Jeff. I don't fear cartels. I'll die. What day I'll die? Even cartels will die. So let me finish. That guy there, you are given a notice through the Foreign Affairs Ministry. And I'm sure Monica Juma is watching. Kibicho was the PS Foreign Affairs. He's watching. The current Education Minister, Amina, is watching. Tulipewa notice by the UN. They were about to relocate to Addis Ababa and Kigali. That's because of this building. Yeah? And if this guy was genuine, he came with 50 million to my house. I arrested him. The case is before the ESCC. Yeah? So akaanza kunitisha, he has a court order, lawyers wrote to me, kunitisha, yeah? Sawa tukasema tupigane na kesi. We took our case to court. We explained our case. He lost the case. What happened to the building? The building is today down. We cannot afford to lose international communities from Nairobi kwenda nchi zingine because of one grabber. Yeah? Take another case. These same people I fired from the rights department. The guys remember the first days when I took over. I arrested guys with millions.
Yeah.
Somebody was wearing a bulletproof underwear. With so many zips, ameweka 7 million ndani. Mwingine ameweka pesa kwa underwear, kwa socks. We arrested them, sent them home. They went to court. They were charged with a criminal offense. They went to the High Court with a constitutional petition, Constitution number 79 of 2017. Wakapata temporary order.
Yeah.
Sawa, tukasema sawa. Let's go to court for full hearing.
Yeah.
We exhibited the clips before Justice Wasilwa. They lost the case. They are now home. So mambo ya kuandikiwa barua sijui Janet lawyer, that is nonsense.
You are not intimidated.
And
you will continue to sack
I will
people.
continue. Now, this is the next case I want Kenyans to know. If we hear Sonko is firing people, there's another grabber who was the director of planning in the county. And I don't fear, I'll mention him. Kuria Wagathoni. He grabbed Lavington. We have that title for that property. Mother title. It is a library meant for Lavington people. He has grabbed it, put up a showroom ya kuuza magari. Ndio amekodisha Subaru Motors. Akona some fake documents anasema chamba ni yake. One person. He grabbed Valley Road Mall. The property, the worth of that property, Lavington, is 2 billion. County property. The title is Nairobi City County. It was allocated to us by the founding father of this republic. Haya. Another property, Valley Road Motors, worth 3 billion. Bado anasema ni yake. Another property, and I want to compliment the ESCC in a very big way. Yeah, we have repossessed that one in Buldi. Somebody was killed there. Yeah, Sosa, somebody was killed when these guys were trying to steal that. They killed him. They went to committee. I was with them even in committee for that property. Wakaona wamemaliza, wakaachiliwa. But that case now has come back. Not with Sosa, with Governor Sonko now. With ESCC, we have repossessed that. Now this one, Indio Mbaya. This is Ngong Road property worth 4 billion. Huyu jamaa alipojua ameiba hizi mashamba zote akaona ameshindwa, and I've got that intelligence and I don't fear. I'm ready to face anyone in court. Akarudi akasema Sonko atafutwe. Yeah? Wanataka wakubaliane deal. He went to my economic advisor whom also I'm going to fire. He's like my father, but I'm going to fire. Akachukua watu wa Wagathoni wakarudi kwa ofisi to one of my chief officers. Wakakubaliana na hii kina Wagathoni. They had to go 50-50. These 10 billion properties wagawanya 50-50. And I want to thank Swazuri and Abigail. Now wasishika handball. After bringing these problems, they did a letter. Wakasema, this property, the title for Kuria Wagathoni is hereby revoked. A letter of allotment to be issued to Nairobi County Government forthwith. The land will be used for public utility. This letter is dated 18th April. Yeah? Signed by Mohamed Swazuri. Sawa sawa? Then, Abigail Mbagaya also did another letter. It's somewhere here. To confirm the same position. I don't know where my communication director.
I'm sure it's somewhere in there.
Okay, it's somewhere here.
Yeah.
To confirm.
Right.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah? Then on 11th April 2018, Abigail Mbagaya confirms the Swazuri position that the title for Wagathoni has been revoked. The title belongs to Nairobi City County. Sawa?
Okay.
Then after the deal was cut, wakasema waganye nusu-nusu, my people asked for 200 million. Wakasema hii governor asijue atatuvuruga. This guy went and sold his land somewhere in Nanyuki, got the money, brought 200 million to my people, including my former lawyers. Money was given. After money was given, cash, no, through some lawyers. Cash, even some other people bought some houses.
You heard about
some other people bought some houses in Karen, big Viets. And I do not have any issue if you buy a car, you enrich yourself, but do not steal, do not grab, do not misappropriate public funds. You'll go home.
Governor.
Let me finish this last letter now. After money exchange hands the 200 million, wakagawanya, but mzuri wakarushana. Yule alipewa pesa akaleta kwa meza 60 million. Akabaki na 140 million. After this money, ipeanwe akarudi lands. Now I'm shocked the same land commission on 28th June 2018 they're writing a letter to say now this plot we gave you by mistake. Irudi kwa kuri ya Wagathoni. This is the letter by Abigail Mbagaya.
The same one who
the same one, and I want the DCI and ECICC to take over this case. I've got all the intelligence. There are clips asking for money. Not Abigail Mbagaya, but my people. So whoever went to the land commission to convince them to reverse their own decision. A former director of planning, Nairobi City County, grabbing property worth billions. Kusema ni zake. Kuona kimeumana akasema tugawanye pesa. Yeah? Washenzi wakakubali kuingia mtego wakasema sawa tugawanye. I'm not a fool myself. I took the Bible at Uhuru Park. Nikasema I will protect the interests of the poor and the rich and all the properties of this Nairobi City County. Siwezi hiyo Bible betray here. So expect more officers from Nairobi City County to go home.
Sure, Governor, I have to protect the integrity of this show, so na inakuwa moto sana. Anyone who the governor mentioned as a thief, that's the governor's words. It's not mine, not Citizen Television, it's the governor's. I tell you, Governor, speaking of smoking, JKLive takes a break. We're going to come back, talk about the governor's relationship with the deputy president. What's going on with Chief Minister Fred Matiang'i? What's going on? And also, how's the president these days? You talk to him a lot, eh?
A lot, even today. I spoke
How is he?
To him. He's a good man.
He's all right?
Yeah.
Doing okay?
Yes.
Ako sawa?
Kabisa, Uhuru, perfect.
We'll be back in a moment. Goodness gracious me.